with the pending budget just around the corner. This is my way to save tax. Hey, what's up guys? Hope you're all well. So we know that the budget, which is due on the 2nd of March, is potentially going to be a tax grabbing budget. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the two key things that I think anybody should be focusing on to limit the amount of tax that you are going to pay for the long term. Let's get straight into the video. What we know about the Chancellor is that he does not directly go all guns blazing in with tax grabs or tax benefits. There's always an incentive for him and an indirect way to encourage growth. And I've said this on several videos that I don't think that we are going to see huge direct tax grabbing measures brought in. Things like literally taxing the wealth or taxing people's savings that are already in their bank account. Because this Chancellor is going to be fighting the balance of getting the tax measures correct, but also encouraging huge amounts of growth, because growth is what is going to pay him back in more tax revenue to fulfill the deficit that has been created by this pandemic. So with that, it's going to be really hard to try and pre-plan anything that the Chancellor is going to bring in place, because it's going to likely be something that we've never seen before. We can't control that, but what we can control is what we know today. And there are loads of different tax incentives and measures that you can take to limit your tax bill. I am literally just going to talk about two of those on this video, which I think are the two most impactful and simplest things that most people watching this video will be able to do. So the first one is going to be about savings, and then the second point is going to be about property investing in the most tax efficient way. So the first one about savings. We all know if you are saving money in your bank, the value of that money is going down every year based on the interest rates you're likely getting versus the inflation rates. So we need to do something with that money in the bank account. And this can be anything from £100 to a few thousand to tens of thousands. It doesn't really matter how much money you've got. Now, if you are between the age of 18 and 39, hopefully you have heard of the lifetime ISA, where basically, for up to £4,000 a year can be invested into a lifetime ISA out of your £20,000 allowance. And even though it's not an easy access ISA, you do get a government incentive of 25% of the value that you've put into that ISA every single year, up to £4,000, meaning that the maximum bonus is £1,000. So for every £4,000 that you put into this, you get £1,000 back, which sits there, which you cannot touch until either you buy your first property or you turn 60. And you get this every single year up to the age of 50, but you can't open these accounts after the age of 39. So you need to get these accounts open. Now, one of the reasons I didn't step straight into this is because the compounded interest value between when I was going to open one up to the age of 60, bearing in mind the government will not pay any more of those incentives after the age of 50, didn't work out, in my mind, a great return on the investment based on what I can get on property. But here's the cherry on top. Once you place that fund into a lifetime ISA and you get your bonus, you can use that new sum, that £5,000, that up to £5,000, to then put into a stocks and shares ISA. And you can even trade that sum if you want to, if you're happy with the risk, on stocks and shares that you want to buy yourself. You don't have to leave it to someone else. So if you are looking to start diversifying your investments or play in the stock market, this is a great way to get £1,000 extra to play in that market. So this is an absolute no-brainer. And I don't care if you've got £100 in the bank. If you are between the age of 18 and 39 and you don't have a lifetime ISA, you need your head testing. This is a great way to get a 25% bonus and use it towards your first property, which if you don't own already, you should absolutely be doing everything you can to get on the property ladder to buy your first property. And if you do own your own property, this is a great way to diversify your income and your investment portfolio into stocks and shares. Then next, moving on to property. So we know that the popular thing has been to target buy-to-let investors and landlords. And the current tax measures on rental income for properties you own in your personal name makes it pretty much non-viable to hold multiple dwellings in your name. This is why there's been a mass movement to buy and transfer assets into limited companies. And I think I had a comment during the week about how do we buy more properties without affecting my personal tax. You should absolutely be buying properties in a company name. The tax advantages straight away are significantly better than buying them in your personal name. And there are ways that you can offset so many different costs into a company before you pay any tax. One of the most unsung heroes of buying a property in a company is the director's loan account that you can draw down on absolutely tax-free until you repay yourself. Let me give you an example. If you buy a property in your personal name, a buy-to-let, and you use, say, 100,000 towards the deposit and the costs, that money is locked in that deal unless you refinance it out. There are no tax benefits to that money being into that deal. Whereas if you buy a property in your company name and you loan your company the same 100,000 to buy the same property, there is now a debt on the company's balance sheet to you, your director's loan account, which means that you can withdraw that 100,000 out in monthly payments if you so wish, absolutely tax-free until that loan is repaid. So if you've got wealth in your personal name, you can continue to invest in your company, increasing your director's loan account to buy more properties, to generate more income, to repay yourself back director's loan. And I think this, if you keep going full circle, is a great way to have long-term monthly income coming into your bank account, but it's a really tax-efficient way to do it. And the company will only ever pay company corporation tax after all of its costs. And you can expense costs for your business in the company. Things like buying a laptop, renting an office, buying equipment, all of those sorts of things you can just expense straight away into your company. And this is actually a really basic way of getting into property in a really tax efficient way. And I've always been a big believer that you shouldn't not do a deal because you're frightened of the tax that you pay, but you should absolutely do it in the most tax efficient way, because the money that you can save on tax can be the equivalent of doing a deal for free. One of the videos I did a few weeks ago was about a great property deal that I put together and I jointly own. And the equity uplift in that deal is £1 million. And because of the way we've structured it tax-wise, when we go to sell that particular deal, the way it's structured means that we will pay zero tax. Now, even if I was to pay 20% tax on £1 million, that's 200,000. That is the equivalent of 1 to 2 really good deals. And buying properties in a company name should be your very first stepping stone if you're looking to buy another buy-to-let and you own your own home. To finish, I do not believe for 1 second that all of the different measures and angles the Chancellor is potentially going to come after us for more tax. He will change the way the corporate bodies buy, own, and are taxed on properties. So that's it from me, guys. Keep your eyes open on the 2nd of March. Stay safe. Hope you found the content rich, and I'll catch you all on the next video.